Hey there guys, welcome back to Cadillac Coachworks. So for the first time, 58 is in the back little shop area. Now you may ask, why is she outside? Why is she filthy? Well, she's been sitting a little while, you know. She's been sitting in the garage probably since the last video I did on her, which was a while ago. So we are taking her to Viva Las Vegas, and I'm going to be doing a video there. We're trailing her, we're not driving her because don't want to rack up miles on a 40,000 original model car. So we're going to be cleaning her and doing some things that I've been meaning to do for a long time. So let me show you a couple things that I need to do. Okay, so I already have her jacked up. So one thing I like to do on these old Caddies, if you know they're an X-frame car and the frame just really goes in on each side of the engine, and it's a heavy front end. So if you put jack stands underneath it, the only spot left is right there, and it's pretty far from the front. So, and I've seen this happen before. People have left them on jack stands and the front end actually droops. And that just completely screws up your beautiful door gaps, you know, other things. It's not good for the car. So I always leave either a jack stand, or since, you know, she's not only going to be on jack stands for a couple of days, I leave a jack pumped up underneath the front cross member right there. So yeah, this is something I do. So what we got going on here is she's leaking, and she's leaking from all sorts of places. One of the major leaks is from the dipstick tube to the transmission. The O-rings wear out, and there's always fluid just slightly above it, so it just pours out. So I'm going to replace the ring, maybe put an extra O-ring in there, and hopefully that fixes it. Now, one other thing is the timing cover is leaking. Now, I'm pretty sure that it's actually the seal, the crank seal, which I just do not have the time to pull everything out of here, everything, because to get it out properly, you got to pull the radiator, obviously the water pump, a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm going to try to tighten the timing cover down and the oil pan and the transmission pan, and just see if that helps. If it's leaking from the front of the transmission, which I really hope it isn't, then it's just going to have to wait, because that's something you got to pull the transmission out for. And it's getting about time for me to probably pull out this engine and completely just spray stuff, get her nice and clean, replace oil pan gasket, timing cover obviously, and just a whole bunch of other gaskets. She doesn't have an exhaust leak, so that's good, but who knows when that'll happen, because she doesn't get driven a lot. Like I said, her miles are low, and yeah, I might even try to change out the battery. The original battery that I had for her that's actually correct, and the hold down that actually fits it, it went out. It's over there somewhere, but I don't like stickers and bright colors on my batteries. I just like black, all black, you know, nice and original looking. So, and so another thing I'm going to do is I bought a little buffing kit, tiny little buffing kits that you can put on Dremels. So I can actually now get into these little spots. They're like cone, they're the buffing, I guess they're just little buffers, but they have a cone tip, so I can get in here and actually polish some of this up, which I was never able to do. But yeah, there's just under the dust, I don't know if you can kind of see, there is some scratches and stuff from when the last time I wet sand her, but the paint is just dry. So I think a good glaze on a multi buffer will bring her back. I might even just give her a quick clay, clay bar. And I got some wax that I want to try from Chemical Brothers, and I'll let you know how that is on old original lacquer paint. It's supposed to bring back a deep shine, but it's just something I've been meaning to do, and that's why she hasn't been sitting in her plastic, because she just needs a good detail. You know, the inside, still good. Still really good. I might clean up the little bit of chrome here and there, but, you know, nothing too crazy. She's been staying pretty clean. But, oh, and one other thing I need to do is I need to take the starter in to get rebuilt. She's getting the symptom to where while she's cranking, the gear will go back into the starter. So the solenoid's obviously getting bad. And it becomes a real pain in the ass sometimes, because when she gets warm, it does it a lot more often. So I'm sitting there trying to start her, and she just kind of gets, you know, a little embarrassing. Or I get a little embarrassed, I guess. But, yeah, so I will get under there and bring you guys with me and just see what I see in a little bit here. Thanks. All right, guys. Man, I wish I had a lift. It's almost about time. So, this pan is just completely caked in transmission fluid. Where's my rag? Where did I put the rag? Come on, where's the rag? Oh, they're down there. Okay. So, you can see that the bolts have transmission fluid all over them. So, I'm thinking the pan gasket has maybe failed, but they do. So since it's cork, and you know, some people don't realize this, but cork, you actually have to tighten down every so often, because they do compress. It's not like rubber where it'll keep its form. Cork just compresses, and you just need to keep torquing stuff down. Now right there, that's oil. And it looks like I'm getting a little bit from the drain plug, but I'm really hoping the rear main isn't leaking, because usually when it comes out of the inspection plate, that means that the rear main is leaking, and there's oil on the cross member. And then if you look over there on the front cross member right there, you see how moist it is. That's all from the timing cover. The tube, the transmission tube, that actually doesn't look like it's leaking to me. That looks, I mean, it's seeping a little bit, but it's not just wet, you know what I mean? So maybe I don't have to do that, but I'm definitely gonna tighten down these bolts, see if they're loose first of all, torque them to about 15 foot-pounds, I think it is, something like that. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do about all that. Well, I'm going to get starting to tightening down and just see, because yeah, she doesn't really leak when she's driving. Let's look at the yoke seal and see what that is. See, that's actually completely dry. That's fantastic. Those always leak, so that's not leaking, but it definitely looks like the pan is leaking. So let me get at it and tighten things down and just let it sit overnight, and obviously, you know, wipe everything down and tighten it up, and just let's kind of see. How does the that might be leaking a little bit, the O-ring, because there's an O-ring on the TV rod and the gear selector, so that might be leaking a little bit. But the super fun happy time is to replace that O-ring. You have to drop the pan, then drop the valve body, and then take the linkage out, which is, like I said, super fun happy time. And then to get the starter out, those cooling lines are in the way. So maybe someone has messed with it before. I mean, this is a 40,000 original model car. There's a lot of things that haven't been touched on it. But yeah, and you can still see the factory ground strap to the starter. Right. there. So make sure you guys always have a ground strap to your starter, because the bell housings on the Hydramatics and pretty much all transmissions, I guess, but they're aluminum, so they're not a good conductor. But all right, well, that's that. Thanks for squeezing under a car with me, and I'm gonna start tightening these guys up, and I'll report back to you later. Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so I've done a few things since we last spoke, but one thing was definitely leaking was the oil pressure sensor. So that's on the back of a 390. I'll show you here in a second, but there's a lot of oil around it and on top of the engine. I know the valve or the valley pan gasket shouldn't be leaking because I did seal that up really well 4 years ago, but I never tightened or took the sensor out. And what I do is I put that yellow Teflon around it. You can't use white, you have to use yellow because that's for petroleum. So I wrapped that on there and screwed it in. But let me show you a couple other things that I noticed while I was under there. Okay, so there's the oil pressure sensor right there, and that turns off the dummy light on the dash. It's all nice and clean now, but you see all that oil around there and on the back. That's usually an indication that it's leaking from the threads or from the sensor itself. So I'm not going to have a sensor in time, but I did clean it, and if oil does get around the ring on the top, then I know the sensor is bad, and I'll just replace it. It's no big deal. Yeah, we'll go from there. Let me take you underneath. Okay, so one thing I noticed a lot of oil around was this tube, and basically what this is, and I think 58 was the last year to do this, because I think 59 had electric wipers. So basically what this is it's a valve that connects to the oil pump, and it creates vacuum for the windshield wipers because those are pneumatic. There was a ton of oil around this thing and it was really moist, so I tightened everything up because it was fairly loose. So we'll see if that does the trick, and I cleaned around it, so if I start seeing oil again and I take the starter down, because yeah, it's right behind the starter, I'll know that that's leaking, and I'll just completely take that apart, and maybe I'll just plug it because yeah, I don't use the windshield wipers. They don't work too well, and I'm thinking about getting a conversion kit for it anyways to electric. But yeah, so starter's out, and the problem with the starter was actually not the solenoid, it was the gear, the sliding gear on the shaft. It wasn't locking, so that's at the shop right now getting done. But let me get over to the transmission. Okay, so now we're under the pan, and what I noticed was the drain plug, the gasket around it wasn't too good, and there was a lot of drips, and so what I did is I just tightened it down, and I actually did tighten down a quarter turn. It's probably going to need a new little gasket or O-ring, but I'm not dumping out all this fluid right before this trip. I tightened all the bolts, and they were still fairly tight because I did tighten them a few years ago, but and it's the same with the oil pan right there. I can still see some seepage around it, so when I change the oil next time, I'm going to replace that. But if the rear main's not leaking, then I'm pretty happy about that. It could have been the oil sensor and also that little tube. So yeah, tomorrow I'll be getting everything back together, and I'll get back to you guys. Well, here she is, running like clockwork. Obviously, I've already checked the transmission fluid is about 1.5 quarts low. Engine oil is about 1.5 quarts low. I tried some of the Lucas oil stop leak to see if I can get that front crank seal sealed up a little bit, or at least, you know, it's probably a little brittle. So maybe get it moistened up a little bit. But she was, you know, Lucas is good stuff anyways, so, you know, I like to put them in these old engines. Next thing is to clean all that rat turd. Yep, the rats just keep coming up on the top of this engine. I don't know how many times, but you better be damned that if I see them coming out of the garage or whatnot, my air gun is ready. And so far I got 8 kills, but you know, I mean, just they do such a mess on engines. But like I was saying, she runs perfectly. And she's mechanically ready for Vegas. But now the rain's coming, so I'm not gonna start detailing her today. It's just no point with the rain. You know, I'm under a cover, but still with the wind and everything, it just blows all over the place. But probably Sunday or Monday I'll start detailing. It should only take a couple days, hopefully, because Wednesday I gotta be packed up and ready to leave Thursday morning. So yeah, I'll get back to you guys when I'm actually cleaning her, and we'll check out some of this stuff. And it wasn't Chemical Brothers, it's Chemical Guys butter wet wax. Sounds delicious, doesn't it? So we'll try this out, and I'll show you the stuff that I have been using, but I don't think they make it anymore. And then I got some you know, the clay bars, and then the let's see here, let's see if I can get this open. Okay, so here's the little guys, little coney guys. Put them on your Dremel, and they look like they're pretty disposable. They're a little hard and a little soft. I think the different colors mean different hardness, I guess. But yeah, see, you can get up in there. Yep, get all up in there. And probably in one of the worst spots, right here. Can't get a buffing wheel in there, right? So yeah, these should come in fairly handy, and you know, maybe even up in here where you can still see some of the old crud left over. But yeah, so anyways, you guys have a fantastic day. It's a Saturday now, but you're not going to see this video probably for a couple weeks. So yeah, you guys be safe. I'll talk to you in a little bit when we're gonna detail her. Okay, so wow, I mean, it really came out. It's still a little dull, but you know, I need to wet sand it and all that stuff, but I just can't believe how good this wax works. And remember guys, this paint is original from 1958, okay? It's how old is that now? It's 80 years old or something like that. Let's see, 68, 78, 88, 98, 2008. Okay, but you know, just over 60 years. But man, so you can see I still gotta wipe the back here. But I mean, I'm really surprised. So I'm interested in trying more of the Chemical Brothers stuff, and I don't mind, you know, hey, if you're listening, send me some product, and I will completely redo this car, and it'll be something for an original lacquer paint job. So anyways, I'm gonna finish polishing her up, and the next time you'll see her, we'll be on a trailer to Vegas. I am not driving her. Too many miles to put on. I'm not driving her. But see, she's still going. So anyways, I'll talk to you guys soon. I wanted to update you guys because she's been running a while. Look at that. Yeah, the sensor's no good. It's leaking oil out of the top of it. So I'm gonna see if I can get one before we leave and just throw it on there, because it's, you know, a 10-minute job. So yeah. Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so replaced oil sensor. It was definitely bad. So I got a new one on there, and it's dry up top. So, but now it's on to detailing. I gave her a quick wash. I did try to use the clay bar but it wasn't working too well. I think this might be a little too far gone, and also it's lacquer paint. So I'm going to try, let me show you here. Okay, so this is the products I use mostly. High luster car care products. So I'm going to try to go to the paint restoration. It removes 1500 grit, which that's pretty abrasive. So I just don't want to get too crazy, because then the paint's going to start wearing thin. I am going to get her ceramic coated, which, you know, I need to do if I want to keep the paint good. And then I go over it with synthetic polymer glaze. This stuff really brings the shine back. I'm using a wool pad for the paint restorer, and it's on a rotary, so it, you know, changes direction. It doesn't leave like crazy marks on it, like it, you know, like you'll see just back and forth with a regular buffer. And then for the polymer glaze, I'll go with a foam pad. And then for the chemical guys, hot butter, what was it? Something butter wax, yummy yum. We're gonna use this. So let me do a section here and see. I mean, to the naked eye, to like on the camera, it looks good, but there is just, it's, I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, it's rough, you know, and it's been probably 8 years since I've done it. So let me try this this stuff, and I'll get back to you. Okay, so wow, I mean, it really came out. It's still a little dull, but you know, I need to wet sand it and all that stuff, but I just can't believe how good this wax works. And remember, guys, this paint is original from 1958, okay? It's, how old is that now? It's 80 years old or something like that. Let's see, 68, 78, 88, 98, 2008. Okay, but, you know, just over 60 years. But, man, so you can see, I still got to wipe the back here, but I mean, it's, I'm really surprised. So I'm interested in trying more of the Chemical Brothers stuff, and I don't mind, you know, hey, if you're listening, send me some product, and I will completely redo this car, and it'll be something for an original lacquer paint job. So anyways, I'm gonna finish polishing her up, and the next time you'll see her, we'll be on a trailer to Vegas. I am not driving her. Too many miles to put on. I'm not driving her. But, see, she's still going. So, anyways, I'll talk to you guys soon. Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so it's the day of leaving to Viva Las Vegas. You can see that the truck's squatty. We're doing the North Carolina or South Carolina squat? I can't remember. But yeah, she's on the trailer. Let me show you. All right, here she is. Get out of here. On the trailer. Thanks again for Spanky's Trailer Rental. There's their number. He's got quite a few trailers, but she's all strapped down. Well, we made it up halfway through the El Cajon on the 15. We still got a little bit of snow on the back of the mountains right there. And then, of course, let me zoom in on this. We got that nice rock formation right there. I've always liked passing that. They kind of remind me of caddy fins. But yeah. So, and then behind me, there she is. Best thing to see in the rearview mirror, right? Alright. I've had to tighten the straps twice now. So probably in about another 100 miles I will check them again. Talk to you guys then. Alright, so we just stopped. I tightened these ones a little bit more because it seems like she's going this way a little bit. So I tightened these two really, really tight. But she's almost one with the trailer. You can see Now she's a little closer on this side, and we definitely don't want that chrome bouncing up and down off that fender. All right, you can hear everybody shooting out there. All right, see you guys later. Okay, we made it. 61. This guy didn't take any warning signs and replace his fuel pump.
Why do you smell like hooker spit still?
Don't talk about me last night. So he's gonna put an electric fuel pump on there because the mechanical one, that takes about a week to get. Obviously we can't do that. So this guy's gonna lay on the dirty asphalt. And yeah. So after the trip, the car decided to run into, well, a swarm of bees decided to, I guess, fly in front of the truck and the 58. So it was just a little dusty, but luckily my buddy George here with Advanced Auto Spa, he was actually at the Orleans. So now she's getting a nice wash. And it's a little monsoonal, but hopefully it doesn't rain. We're at Mike's little breakfast cruise. Got quite a few cars. Well, guess where I'm at? O'Reilly's. Guess what happened? Fuel pump went out. Made fun of Mike yesterday. Look what happened today, but luckily there's an O'Reilly's and they have everything I need. So, see you in a minute. Okay, so back from O'Reilly's. There she is. We're on top of the roof of Ellis Island. Here's the strip. So let's get this fuel pump on and get the hell back to the hotel so I can take a nap. I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Okay guys, it's the next day. I was so tired after putting this fuel pump on. I hope you can hear me. It's a little loud, but we're at the car show. We're gonna walk around, look at a few Cadillacs. But here. So I had to put this guy on. So it goes in, goes all the way in there. This is temporary.
Oh, she's a big card.
Well, you guys, so it's, you may ask, why is the 61 on the back of this trailer? Well, it's because it has a winch, electric winch, and she lost her rear end. I don't know if I told you guys, but yeah, rear end blew out, so we couldn't even get it on Mike's trailer. So, winched it onto mine, and the 58's on his trailer. We are in Baker at the Mad Greek. I didn't get back to you right after the car show because we were dead tired. So, but yeah, let's take a look. So, yeah, let's see if she's leaking. She lost her pinion seal, and that was that. Just a couple drops, nothing crazy. But anyways, I'll update you when we're actually home. No need to see us driving through the desert, right? So we're gonna go eat. Well, we're back, and it's a lot cooler here than Vegas. But as you know, it was quite a pain in the ass to get the cars back. Mike's 61. We had to push off the trailer with the winch, and of course, I don't know if you could hear me at the car show, but you know, we had to put the electric fuel pump in the 58 on the top of a parking structure in Vegas. I got a little sunburnt. Again, here we are. There's the electric fuel pump, the tank full of gas, because this is it's a pusher unit. It's not really a pulling unit, so I couldn't just really hook it up back to the fuel line. But now, yeah, let me show you the what we're gonna do here. Okay, so as you can see, this is hooked up to the line going into the carburetor. We just left all this off. This is what I gotta replace. I already have the kit on order. The new ones are made in China. What I usually do is just replace the pin and the diaphragms because that's what's going out. I can check it. If you guys would like to see that replacement or rebuild, go ahead and let me know. But what was really weird is that if you look close, I did this one not too long ago, and the rubber, even on the outside, looks good. I mean, I don't know the condition on the inside, but usually when the rubber's kind of hard and nasty on the outside, then the inside's even worse. But I don't know, it's kind of weird. Actually, you know what? Let's just take this guy off and see what it looks like. Well, that is not good. Just a nice little tear right there. Let me get the fuel pump. All right, well, she's apart. Here's the base. So a lot of times this arm will give out, which this one's fine, and then you'll get a tear somewhere in here, but there's no tear. So the only tear is right here. And I think what I'm gonna do is just replace that, see what it does, because and maybe just this rubber too, because all these are good. I mean, it's like brand new in here. So yeah, that's pretty simple to fix. I don't know what this is about. Looks like oil. Looks like oil came out of there. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So anyways, guys, that does it for the trip to Vegas and all the shenanigans. I know it's slightly on the longer end, but the next video that will be coming will be the 52 Coupe. It's currently in my buddy's little shop area getting paint work, metal repair, all sorts of stuff. So you'll be seeing that coming up and just kind of the progress and all that stuff. So anyways, you guys have a fantastic end of April, because it's almost the end of April. So anyways, you guys take care. Bye bye.